The Chuwi LapBook 14.1 is a Chinese budget laptop that is available at around 260 to 300 bucks depending on if you can catch a deal or not. Equipped with a 14.1 inch IPS screen and a powerful Intel Apollo Lake Celeron quad-core processor, the device does look promising. So let's check out how well this device performs. I'm Christopher for ChinaMobileMag with the full review of the Chuwi LapBook 14.1. Like most Chinese budget laptops, the LapBook 14.1 doesn't pack much accessories. You only get a power supply, a user guide and a quality control certificate. The Chuwi LapBook 14.1 looks quite nice with its matte white plastic body combined with a black thin frame around the screen and the black keyboard. The Chuwi LapBook logo on the lid as well as the Chuwi logo below the screen kinda add to the nice look. Something that immediately sticks out is the awesome build quality. The plastic they use really feels nice and solid. Of course, due to the quality material, the laptop is rather sturdy. The body also is a little on the thicker side, but that's not a bad thing if you get a proper sturdiness in exchange. Inside the lapbook there is a thick metal piece which prevents the body from bending when adding pressure on top. It also adds some weight which ensures a secure stand. One downside is that it bumps up the weight to 1.444 kilograms. There is a little plastic nub on the bottom which additionally stabilizes the base part. Rubber feet provide plenty of grip for an even more secure stand. Also, on the bottom there are two speakers. The ports have been placed on the right and left side of the laptop. There is a DC in port, USB 3.0 port and HDMI jack on the left side, as well as a microSD card reader, a headphone jack and a USB 2.0 port on the right side. Next to the DC in port, there is a charging LED which lights up in red while charging and changes to blue when charging has finished. Above the screen there are 3 more blue LEDs. Stereo microphones are placed above the keyboard as well. The touchpad has a convenient size and kind of a rough surface, but fingers still glide well on it. The mouse buttons are hidden below the touch surface and can be clicked almost across the whole touchpad area. Sadly, the touchpad isn't perfect. The precision isn't the best since there is a bit of an input lag, so the cursor keeps moving for a short time when you stop your finger. Also, they use a fake precision touchpad, which means it does support the Windows gestures, but you cannot configure them. If some gesture is annoying to you, there is no way to disable it. Another problem is that when scrolling with 2 fingers, sometimes a pinch to zoom gesture is triggered. The keyboard of the Chuwi LapBook 14.1 is pretty good. At first, typing feels a little strange since the key travel is large, but as soon as you get used to this, typing is really comfortable. The keys feel solid and keystrokes are always recognized reliably, no matter if you hit the keys hard or slide. The keyboard also doesn't have any issues with characters appearing twice, so it really is great to use on a daily basis even when writing a lot. The keyboard offers a few shortcuts to control stuff like system volume, but something that's missing is a shortcut to control the screen brightness, and the touchpad also can't be locked with a shortcut. The 14.1 inch Full HD screen is made by AU Optronics, so it is a brand screen. It does use IPS technology, so the viewing angles are quite good. Besides of that, the color reproduction is good too, and the picture looks sharp and the contrast is okay. Weaknesses of the panel are a low maximum brightness, which in combination with the missing anti-glare coating results in bad outdoor readability. What's more, on the right and lower side of the screen there are some bright spots which are clearly visible on dark content. The Chuwi LapBook 14.1 is powered by the Intel Celeron N3450, which is a quad-core 64-bit processor running on a base clock of 1.1 GHz and a turbo boost clock of 2.2 GHz. The GPU used is an Intel HD Graphics 500 with 12 execution units. During day-to-day use, this processor provides sufficient resources for smooth work with Microsoft Office, playing multimedia files up to 4K resolution and surfing the web. Google Chrome does run surprisingly well on it, and even streaming 4K videos at YouTube does work well. Compared to devices based on an Atom SoC, there is a huge difference in performance. Basic games from the Windows Store like Modern Combat 5, GT Racing 2 or Asphalt Extreme run quite well on the device. Sadly, the Chuwi LapBook 14.1 has some cooling issues. This doesn't become a problem during day-to-day use, but when you place the laptop on an isolating surface while it's under high load, or if you use it while charging, the processor sometimes hits more than 100 degrees Celsius, which makes the laptop switch to standby mode for it to cool down. Reason for this is quite a stupid cooling solution. There is some thermal pad on the SoC which transfers the heat from the processor onto the EMI shielding. On the shielding there is another larger thermal pad which is supposed to spread the heat, but this does not work well at all since the plastic bottom of the laptop causes a heat buildup which causes the thermal issues. They would have done better using a copper heatsink like Jumper does on the EZBook 3 or a heat pipe to transfer the heat to the metal bar. The Chuwi LapBook 14.1 packs 4 GB of LPDDR3 RAM clocked at 1.6 GHz. 6 or even 8 GB would have been nice to achieve better multitasking performance, but the 4 GB aren't an immediate issue if you take care not to run too much stuff at once. The 64 GB eMMC memory is surprisingly decent and in terms of data rate resides between a classic hard drive and modern SSDs. The writing speed at 130 MB per second is better than a hard drive. If you want to get more available and faster memory, you can plug in an M.2 SATA free SSD inside the empty port on the lapbook's mainboard. Just take care to insulate the SSD since the metal bar might cause a short circuit. If you wish to do so, you can also remove the metal bar to get more space for the SSD. The USB 3.0 port of the Chuwi LapBook 14.1 delivers enough current to drive an external 2.5-inch hard drive with no additional power supply. Operating system running on the LapBook 14.1 is Windows 10 Home 64-bit. It is licensed and the key is saved inside the UEFI firmware. The Windows 10 installation comes without any bloatware and out of the box runs in English language. Other languages can be installed. The UEFI menu contains an option to switch to a Linux mode, which enables you to boot Linux distributions like Ubuntu. Ubuntu does support all hardware inside the Chuwi LapBook 14.1. Remix OS for PC does run as well and also supports all of the components like GPU and Wi-Fi. We have set up a dual boot system with Remix OS and Windows 10 on our unit. The Chuwi LapBook 14.1 does pack a proper Wi-Fi card and supports ac-WiFi, which theoretically supports a throughput of up to 700 Mbit per second. Next to the router, we have been able to max out our 200 Mbit internet connection. When we moved one floor below, bandwidth dropped to 50 Mbit per second, which still is okay. Bluetooth 4.0 is supported too and did work well with a Bluetooth headset and game controller. The internal speakers of the Chuwi LapBook 14.1 are somewhat disappointing. They sound flat and don't sound very pleasant on high volume. The headphone jack delivers a clear audio output with no background noise and the maximum volume is high. There are also two microphones, but they don't sound very good. We did several test recordings and all of them suffered from background noise and kinda sounded like underwater recordings. The 0.3 megapixel webcam isn't good as well. It's okay for video chats without any big quality demands, but definitely not more. The 9000 mAh battery during the testing period has been able to run the lapbook for an average of 6 hours. The maximum battery life reached was 8 hours with Wi-Fi disabled and only Microsoft Word running. Streaming videos, the battery survives for around 3 to 4 hours depending on screen brightness and video resolution. Charging from 20 to 100% takes 3 hours. The first 50% are charged the fastest within 75 minutes. Verdict: the Chuwi LapBook 14.1 for a budget laptop features an impressive build quality, decent performance, and the screen offers a satisfying picture quality. Battery life is good enough, and it's great to see that it packs fast ac-WiFi and supports other operating systems besides Windows. The biggest weaknesses are the bad cooling, the mediocre touchpad, the bright spots around the screen, and the insufficient screen brightness for outdoor use. We would have wished Chuwi to pay some more attention to detail here, but still, depending on the use case, the LapBook 14.1 for sure can be a good choice. So that's all for this review. The shop link and more information is located down in the video description. I'm Christopher for CMM. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.